Alvarez released some footage of himself training with his coach Eddie Reynoso on the pads. Have a look on screen at it. Not gonna lie, Canelo doesn't look like he's going full tilt, obviously, and you tend to see that a lot of times with fighters. You could tell when a fighter was really trying to show for the camera that, oh, look at me. David Haye was very much like that. He'd always do that. But that is Canelo Alvarez. Now, a lot of people are concerned about that, are concerned about what they're seeing, because although he's holding back, you can tell, people are saying his legs, they look slower than usual, and Canelo has always been someone who's always had very slow feet. Even when he was down at 154 pounds, something that plagued him throughout the course of his career is he's just had very slow feet, like cement sometimes on them. That's one of the weaknesses of Canelo, and obviously now he's, how old is Canelo? 35 years old, 34, 35. They're going to be, they were slow in your mid-20s. They're definitely going to be slow now in your mid-30s. Before we follow up on that, just have a look there really, really quickly on screen. Please, if y'all could, hit the like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. It literally takes like 2 seconds. We're only a couple of subs off 26,300. Want to get 30k? Please, if you could help me out, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, Canelo's always had slow feet. But I think this is the bigger, I think a lot of people are more worried about this now because he's going to be in there. Essentially, he's going to be in there against someone who is really, it's obviously Crawford's last fight was at 154 pounds, but like, he's really a welterweight. He did look a little bit undersized at 154. He's going to look completely undersized at 168. But the size difference, the size, thing out of the equation, the speed difference is going to be vast because Crawford's always had good feet. He's always had fast feet. And if you think Canelo's feet look slow against someone like William Skull, a big, bulky 168 pounder who at the end of the day was just running around the ring, he's going to look even slower against Crawford. And a lot of people are saying, just based upon that training footage, oh, it's now a 50-50 fight. I'm running with Terence Crawford, or that's who I'm going to go with. Look, I've no doubt when they meet on September the 13th, Canelo Alvarez will be the slower of the two. That goes without saying. I don't think he'll be able to match Terence Crawford speed-wise, even now. Even though we forget, Terence Crawford is the older man by a couple of years. I think by about 3 years, maybe. Crawford's got to be 38, hasn't he? 37, 38. And the thing that I think people are not focusing on is that although Crawford is a very well preserved 37, 38-year-old, he's not really been in many wars, if any. You're going to be hard pushed to find a fight that was overtly difficult for him. Like Kell Brook was tricky at times, but didn't shift much damage. Sean Porter, again, tricky at times, but didn't shift much damage. Errol Spence should have been difficult. It certainly wasn't. He's been well preserved, but at that age and at those weights, I know he's going to 168, but like he's been in the lighter weights. He started lightweight, 140, 147, 154. You're not normally going to be at your best. Although saying that, we've just seen Manny Pacquiao he didn't get the decision, but beat Mario Barros at 46. So, the definition of age really is just a number. If you're well preserved, it's pretty much case in point. I think people, again, going back to what I'm saying, I think people are over-focusing on this Canelo clip. I think his foot speed has definitely diminished over the years. It's never been great to start with, as I said. I think people are looking at his last couple of performances, and I think they're reading maybe a bit too much into it. At the end of the day, he fought Charlo 2 years ago now. Jamel Charlo brought him up to 168 pounds. He had no desire to win that fight, and I think Canelo knew that, dropped him, and Canelo just did what he needed to do. And you've seen that lately with Canelo. When he's in there with someone who he's just outmatching, outgunning, he just does what he needs to do just to get the win, and then kind of goes home, maybe drops them en route to the win, but that's it. He looks unspectacular. I think that now, this is the first time probably since maybe the Bivol fight, because even in the trilogy fight with Triple G, we all thought Canelo would win. There wasn't really much hype for that fight at all in comparison to the first two, because we kind of knew what we were going to get. This might be the first time since Bivol that there's a real proper challenge there for Canelo Alvarez. Even though I think, and I make him firm favourite in this fight, which I do, I look at that training footage and it doesn't really tell me anything I didn't already know. That Canelo was not as fast. And you got to bear in mind, I don't think he's worn it recently, but do you remember Canelo had big, well, say big, well, yeah, big. He definitely had issues with his knees. I think it was specifically the right knee a couple of years ago. I'm pretty sure in one of the Triple G fights, might have been the second one, he was wearing like a supportive knee thing, not a brace, but like something for supporting his knee. And we'd seen him in pictures, wearing something similar. So he's had issues with his knees, and I know a lot of people are saying, look at his legs, they look so bulky, but they look so slow, and they do. He's got huge, absolutely bloody huge quads on him. They're massive, very bulky, thickly set character. Canelo Alvarez is. But for me, looking at that again, I just think he's holding back. I think come fight night, it will be competitive. I think that we're not seeing much of how Crawford is looking. That's not to say he's looking bad, but he's at that age where, flip a switch and, oh my God, he's slower. Canelo's slower, but so is Crawford. Although both guys are well preserved, I don't think you ever see either of them out of shape, which is a testament to both guys, their discipline and their resolve. I think people are reading too much into the footage, to be honest with you. I really do. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a fun fight. People like Amir Khan saying it's a 50-50 fight. He shared the ring with both. He shared the ring with a prime Terence Crawford in 2019. I think Canelo, when he fought Canelo in 2016, I don't think that was a prime Canelo. I think that was Canelo just coming into his prime. I think probably 2017 to 2021, they were the prime years for Canelo. I think he was just catching a still somewhat green Alvarez that night. And saying that, by the time of the stoppage, I still had Canelo winning that fight at the time of the stoppage, the devastating stoppage in 20. I remember it well. I remember watched it on HBO. Never forget it. Stayed up for it. Watched it on HBO. It was a fun night that night. It was a very fun night actually that night. But yeah, same night Crawler fought Ishmael Barroso on Sky. That's why Michael Buffer wasn't doing I just did a bit of trivia, but that's why Michael Buffer didn't do the announcements for that fight. He was over in Manchester doing Anthony Crawler, Ishmael Barroso. But yeah, those are my thoughts on that. Let me know yours in the comment section below. Canelo Alvarez, what do you make of the footage? Has it changed your mind or your perception going into this fight? He is also sparring Boots Ennis, which, I mean, to say you cannot get any better sparring than that is an understatement. I mean, literally 154, fast, big puncher. I mean, like, there's good sparring, and then there's that. That's going to stand him in a whopper good stead for this fight. It really will. It really will. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed it, people. Smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe, of course, as always, if you haven't already. Peace.